Pasig River is one of the most important rivers in the Philippines. It connects Laguna de Bay to Manila Bay and passes through the several cities in Metro Manila. Long ago, the river was known for its beauty and importance to Filipino communities. However, as time passed by, rapid urbanization and industrialization greatly affected the condition of the river. Metro Manila's population increased and more factories, establishments, and informal settlements were built near the river. Unfortunately, proper waste management and important protection were not prioritized. Many households and industries began dumping garbage, sewage, and chemical waste directly to the river. Before of this, the Pasig River slowly became heavily polluted. Large amounts of plastic waste, household trash, and untreated wastewater accumulated in the river. Factories released toxic chemicals and industrial waste that harmed aquatic life. The river also clogged and garbage, making the water dark, dirty, and foul smelling. At one point, the river was considered biologically dead, meaning fish and many forms of aquatic life could no longer survive in it because of severe pollution and low oxygen levels. The population in the Pasig River also affected the health and daily lives of people living nearby. Flooding became more common because garbage blocked waterways and drainage systems. The polluted water produced unpleasant odors and became a breeding ground for disease and harmful bacteria. Communities living near the river experienced poor sanitation and environmental problems. Many people also lost livelihoods related to fishing and river transportation because the river was no longer safe or productive. Another major reason for the river's pollution was the lack of discipline and environmental awareness. Among some people, many continued throwing trash into the river without considering the long-term effects on the environment. At the same time, weak enforcement of environmental laws and improper waste disposal systems made the problem worse. Despite these challenges, different organizations, government agencies, and volunteers later worked together to rehabilitate and restore the Pasig River. Cleanup programs, stricter environmental policies, relocation of informal settlers, and public awareness campaigns were implemented to improve the river's condition. Over time, rehabilitation efforts help reduce pollution and slowly bring life to the river. The story of the Pasig River teaches us an important lesson about environmental responsibilities. It reminds us that natural resources can be destroyed if people neglect and abuse them.
Today, I will talk about the current condition of the Pasig River and why is it important to Filipinos. The Pasig River is one of the most important rivers in the Philippines because it connects Manila to Laguna de Bay. In the past, it was known as a clean and active river that helped in transportation, trade, and daily life. However, because of rapid urbanization, proper waste disposal, and pollution from factories and households, the river became heavily polluted over the years. Today, many rehabilitation programs are being done to restore the Pasig River. The government and different organizations continue to clean the river, relocate informal settlers, and encourage people to properly manage their waste. Some areas of the river are now cleaner compared to before, and there are projects that aim to bring back marine life and improve water quality. Even though there are improvements, the Pasig River still faces many challenges such as garbage pollution and overcrowding near riverbanks. This reminds us that protecting the environment is not only the responsibility of the government, but also of every Filipino citizen. Simple actions like throwing garbage properly, reducing plastics use, and participating in cleanup activities can help protect our rivers. In conclusion, the Pasig River is more than just a body of water. It is a part of Philippine history, culture, and daily life. Its condition today reflects how people care for the environment, and its rehabilitation gives hope that with unity and discipline, the river can become clean and beautiful again.
Climate change refers to the long-term changes in Earth's climate system, especially the increase in global temperature and the shifting of weather patterns across the world. In natural system of the Earth, may tinatawag tayong greenhouse effect. Ito ay isang proseso kung saan ang init mula sa araw ay pumapasok sa atmosphere ng Earth at ang bahagi nito ay naitatrap para manatiling warm ang planeta. Importante ito dahil kung wala ito, sobrang lamig ng Earth at hindi tayo mabubuhay. Pero sa paglipas ng panahon, dahil sa human activities, nagiging sobra ang greenhouse gases sa atmosphere. Kasama dito ang carbon dioxide, methane at iba pang gases. Ang mga ito ay nagmumula sa pagsunog ng fossil fuels tulad ng coal, oils at gas na ginagamit sa kuryente, transportation at industriya. Dahil dito, mas maraming init ang naitatrap sa atmosphere. Ito ang dahilan kung bakit tumataas ang global temperature na tinatawag ding global warming at ito ang kamunahing driver ng climate change. Habang patuloy itong nangyayari, nagkakaroon ng malaking pagbabago sa ating environment. Isa sa mga apekto nito ay ang extreme weather condition. Mas nagiging unpredictable ang panahon at may mga lugar na nakakaranas ng mas malakas na bagyo at matinding ulan, habang ang ibang lugar naman ay dumaranas ng sobrang init at matagal na tagtuyot. Sa pagbabago rin ng klima ay nagdudulot ng pagtaas ng sea level. Habang umiinit ang mundo, natutunaw ang mga yelo sa Arctic at Antarctica. Kapag natunaw ito, dumadagdag ang tubig sa karagatan, kaya ang unti-unting tumataas ang sea level. Ito ay nagiging banta sa mga coastal areas at sa mga isla dahil sa posibilidad na pagbaha at pagkawala ng lupa. Hindi lang sa environment ang naapektuhan, kundi pati ang tao. Ang agriculture ay isa sa pinaka-apektado dahil sa hindi stable na weather. Nahihirapan ang mga farmers na magtanim. Kapag naapektuhan ang produksyon ng pagkain, nagiging mahal at minsan po ang supply ng pagkain. Maepekto rin ito sa kalusugan ng tao. Ang sobrang init ay pwedeng magdulot ng heat-related illnesses. At ang pagbabago ng klima ay nakakaapekto rin sa pagkalat ng ilang sakit. Dati ang wildlife at ecosystem ay naapektuhan. May mga hayop at halaman na hindi nakakasabay sa mabilis na pagbabago ng kanilang natural habitat, kaya may ilan na panganib ang mai-extinct. Sa kabuuan, climate change ay hindi lang simpleng environmental issue. Isa itong global problem na nakakaapekto sa lahat, sa kalikasan, sa ekonomiya, at sa buhay ng tao. Pero kahit malaki ang problema, may magagawa pa rin tayo. Pwede tayong magbawasan ng paggamit ng kuryente, gumamit ng mas sustainable ng transportasyon, mag-recycle at magtanim ng mga puno. Maliit man ang mga actions na ito, pero kapag pinagsama-sama naman, malaki ang epekto nito sa pag-reduce ng climate change. At ang climate change ay nangyayari na ngayon at ang mga epekto nito ay ramdam sa buong mundo. Kaya ang mga desisyon natin ngayon ang magdidikta ng kinabukasan ng Earth. Pollution is one of the biggest environmental problems affecting the world today. It damages the air people breathe, the water they drink, and the land they depend on. Although pollution is often connected to factories and large cities, many forms of pollution actually come from everyday human activities. One reason pollution continues to worsen is because people do not always notice it immediately. Some effects happen slowly, while others some become so common that they treated it as normal parts of daily life. Air pollution happens when harmful substances such as smoke, dust, and toxic gases mix with the atmosphere. Vehicles, factories, cigarette smoke, and burning garbages are some of the main sources. In crowded cities, traffic alone can already produce large amount of polluted air every day. Many people contribute to air pollution without realizing it. Using private vehicles too often, burning plastic or trash, smoking in public places, and wasting electricity all increases harmful emissions. Most people do not notice air pollution because polluted air is usually invisible. People become used to the smell of smoke, vehicle exhaust, or dusty surroundings since they experience them regularly. Because the effects are gradual, many only recognize the danger once health problems begin to appear. Continuous exposure to polluted air can cause coughing, asthma, breathing difficulties, lung diseases, and heart problems. Children and elderly people are especially vulnerable because their bodies are more sensitive. Air pollution contributes to climate change as well by trapping heat in the atmosphere, leading to stronger typhoons, droughts, floods, and extreme heat. Water and land pollution. Water and land pollution are closely connected because waste thrown on land often ends up in rivers, lakes, and oceans. Improper disposal of garbage, plastic, chemicals, oil, sewage, and industrial waste damages both the environment and the public health. People contribute to this problem through common habits such as littering, throwing trash into canals, overusing plastics, and failing to separate waste properly. In some communities, garbage is burned or dumped in some open areas because proper waste management is unavailable or ignored. Many people fail to notice the seriousness of water and land pollution because the damage happens slowly. Polluted water does not always look dirty, and trash becomes common in some places that people stop paying attention to it. Some harmful chemicals cannot even be seen in the human eye. These forms of pollution create serious consequences. Garbages blocks drainage systems and worsens flooding through heavy rains. Polluted water can spread diseases and kill marine life by reducing oxygen levels and introducing toxic substances into ecosystems. Chemicals and waste can also damage soil quality, making land less fertile and harmful for agriculture. Noise and light pollution. Not all pollution can be easily seen. Noise and light pollution are often ignored because they seem harmless compared to smoke or garbage. Yet, they still affect both humans and animals. Noise pollution comes from traffic, construction, loud music, public transportation, and crowded urban environments. People often become so used to loud surroundings that they no longer notice how stressful constant noise can be. Long-term exposure may cause headaches, sleep disturbances to other people, stress, hearing problems, and difficulty concentrating. light pollution is caused by excessive artificial lighting from buildings, streetlights, billboards, and gadgets. Many people leave lights on unnecessarily or spend long hours on using devices at night. Since bright lights are associated with convenience and safety, their harmful effects are often ignored. An important ethical question must be asked. Is it right to continue polluting the environment for our convenience, profit, or economic growth? The answer is no. Although development is important, it should never harm human health, wildlife, and the environment. Everyone deserves clean air, safe water, and healthy future, which is why protecting the environment is a shared moral responsibility.
Araw-araw tayong nakakakita ng basura, pero madalas, hindi natin napapansin kung gaano kalaki ang epekto nito sa ating kalikasan, sa ating kalusugan, and sa kinabukasan ng mga susunod na generation. When we talk about waste, hindi lang to tungkol sa plastic wrappers or leftover food na makikita natin sa kalsada. Waste comes in many forms: solid, liquid, organic, hazardous, and pati electronic waste. Each type kailangan ng tamang paraan ng pag-handle. Pero sa maraming lugar, kulang pa rin ang maayos na waste management system. And because of that, napakadaming negative effects ang nangyayari sa environment. Isa sa pinakamalaki nating problema ngayon ay ang overproduction of plastic waste. Ang plastic, umaabot ng hundreds of years bago tuluyang ma-decompose. Habang tumatagal, nagiging microplastics ito and umaabot sa soil, tubig, and maging sa pagkain natin. May mga studies na nakakita ng microplastics sa isda, sa inumin, and maging sa human body. Ibig sabihin, kahit hindi natin nakikita, waste is already affecting our daily lives in ways we don't expect. Another major issue is improper waste disposal. Sa maraming communities dito sa Pilipinas, marami pa rin basura ang napupunta sa estero, sa vacant lots, and open dump sites. May mga tao pa rin nag-open burning na sobrang harmful dahil naglalabas to ng toxic chemicals na nagpapalala ng air pollution. Yung mga gantong practices is nagdudulot ng pagbaha, pagdami ng sakit, and pagkasira ng ecosystem natin. We also need to look at food waste na madalas natin hindi pinag-uusapan. Every day, maraming households, restaurants, and supermarkets ang nagtatapon ng pagkain pwede pa sana. Pag napuno yung landfills ng food waste, napoproduce to ng methane, isa sa pinaka-strong na greenhouse gases na nakakadagdag sa climate change. Ang masakit pa rito is habang marami yung nagugutom, tons of food ang nasasayang dahil sa lack of awareness at poor systems. Another growing concern is electronic waste or e-waste. Dahil mabilis magbago ang technology, mabilis ding napapalitan niya ang mga gadgets. Yung mga luma like sirang cellphone, chargers, appliances is madalas napupunta lang sa tambakan ng basura. Pero yung e-waste, hindi ordinaryong basura. May mga toxic materials to na tulad ng lead and mercury na kapag pumasok sa tubig o lupa is sobrang delikado para sa tao at sa kalikasan. Hindi rin natin pwedeng kalimutan yung epekto ng waste sa ating oceans. Taon-taon, napakaraming basura ang napupunta sa dagat. Maraming marine animals ang nakakakain ng plastic dahil napagkakamala nila itong pagkain and nagiging sanhito ng injury or pagkamatay nila. Ang coral reefs na napakahalaga sa biodiversity nasasakal din dahil sa basura. And dahil magkakakonekta ang ating oceans, waste becomes a global issue, hindi lang problema ng isang bansa. Pero kahit malaki yung problemang to, naniniwala ako na kaya natin tong solusyonan kung magtutulungan tayo. Every person has a role, kahit maliit man, simula sa waste segregation sa bahay, pag-iwas sa single-use plastics, paggamit ng reusable items, and pag-reduce ng unnecessary consumption. Lahat to small steps pero malaking impact kapag ginawa ng marami. Schools, barangays, and local governments can also strengthen recycling programs and educate communities about proper waste disposal. Businesses also have a huge responsibility. Companies need to adopt sustainable packaging, eco-friendly production, and proper waste handling. Kapag yung industry ay nag-shift to greener practices, mas malawak ang impact dahil naapektuhan nito yung behavior ng consumers and nakakabawas ang environmental damage. Waste management is not just about throwing things away. It is about understanding the life cycle of the products we use, the consequences of our choices, and the responsibility we owe to the next generation. Kung hindi natin aayusin yung waste problem ngayon, yung magiging kapalit nito is isang mundo na puno ng pollution, health risk, and kulang na natural resources. Pero kung magsisimula tayo ngayon, may pag-asa tayo magkaroon ng mas malinis, mas ligtas, and mas sustainable na community.
I'm going to discuss about biodiversity. First of all, what is biodiversity? Biodiversity refers to variety of life on Earth. Kasama rito ang iba't ibang uri ng hayop, halaman, fungi, microorganism at pati ang kanilang ecosystem. Tulad ng forest, oceans, river, and grassland, biodiversity is very important because it helps maintain balance in nature and support human life. Now, what is biodiversity loss? Biodiversity loss happens when species of plants and animals decrease in number or become extinct. It also includes the deterioration of habitats and ecosystem. It's simple work, unting-unting nawawala ang iba't ibang anyo ng buhay sa ating planeta. There are many causes of biodiversity loss. One major cause is habitat deterioration. Humans cut down the forest for agriculture, building roads, and industry. Because of this, animals lose their homes and sources of food. For example, when forests are destroyed, many birds, insects, and mammals can survive. Another cause is pollution, plastic waste, chemical and toxic substances contaminate rivers, ocean, and soil. Marine animals often mistake plastic for food, which can lead to death. Air pollution also affects plants and animals. The next cause is climate change, rising temperature, stronger storm, droughts, and changing weather patterns affect ecosystem. Some species cannot adapt fast enough, so their pollution decreases. Coral reefs, for example, are highly affected by warmer ocean temperature. Another factor is overexploitation or excessive using of natural resources. These include overfishing, illegal hunting, and wildlife trade. When animals take too much from nature, species cannot reproduce fast enough to survive. Lastly, invasive species can also contribute to biodiversity loss. These are organisms introduced into areas where they are not naturally found. They may compete with native species for food and habitat, causing imbalance in ecosystem. Now, why should we care about biodiversity loss? Because biodiversity is cannot connected to human survival. We depend on nature for food, medicine, clean water, oxygen, and even livelihood. Many medicine came from plants and animals. Healthy ecosystem also prevent floods, control climate, and maintain fertile soil for agriculture. If biodiversity continues to decline, ecosystem may collapse. This can result in food shortage, loss of natural resources, spread of diseases, and more environmental disaster. In short, biodiversity loss affect not only animals and plants but also humans. So what, or why we can do to help? We can start in simple ways. We should reduce waste, especially in plastic pollution. We can recycle and proper waste disposal. Planting trees and protecting forests are also important. Supporting conservation program protected area can help save engaged species. We should also natural resources responsibility and avoid products connected to illegal wildlife trade. Government, organizations, schools, and communities must work together to protect biodiversity. Education and awareness are also important so more people we understand the value of nature. The biodiversity loss is one of the biggest environment problem today. Human activity are causing degradations and extinction of species. However, it's not yet too late. By taking action protecting our environment, we can help prevent biodiversity for future generation.
Masuyo po rin yung former IT, may mga bagong IT, pwede na po mag-subscribe para dire-diretso.
Low, oh, napatawag ka. Bakit? Uy, congrats Ang galing mo Uy, ako rin.
Siyempre, ako pa.
Alam mo ba, nakapasa ako sa ibang bansa, mag-a-abroad na ako. Kaya dyan nag-ayos ako na requirements.
Uy, nice! Kailan alis mo?
Baka next month na. Kasi matatapos ka na rin ganun. Bakit? Ikaw, kailan yung pasok mo?
Sa August. Pero syempre, alam mo naman, excited ako. Kasi, from the start, akala ko di ako papasa eh.
Grabe ka naman. Ikaw na yan oh. Tsaka pagputay mo pag-aaral mo.
Oo naman. Ikaw din dyan mag-ingat ka.
Oo naman, nakawa.
Ha?
Dream school yan,
Sige.
Sige na, babay na. May gagawin pa kasi ako.
Ako din, mag-ayos mo ako ng mga gamit ko.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ang pag-alis sa sariling bansa, ang pagiging migrant ay hindi basta choice na ginagawa lang dahil gusto ng pagbabago. Para sa karamihan, ito ay desisyon na pinilit ng sitwasyon. Dahil sa kakulangan ng trabaho, kahirapan, conflict o kaya naman ay paghahanap ng mas maayos na kinabukasan para sa pamilya. Sa bawat hakbang nila paalis, may bitbit silang pag-asa. Pero kasabay nito, may dalang takot din. Takot sa hindi alam, sa bagong lugar at sa kung paano sila tatanggapin. Pagdating sa bagong bansa, ang unang reality na sasalubong sa kanila ay hindi palaging welcoming. Dito nagsisimula ang tunay na hamon ng pagiging migrant. Isa sa pinakamadalas na nararanasan nila ay ang discrimination. May mga pagkakataon na ang isang tao ay huhusgahan hindi dahil kung sino siya, kundi dahil sa accent niya, kulay ng balat, kultura at pinanggalingan niya. Minsan naman, kahit hindi pareho ng qualifications, mas pinipili pa rin ang locals. May mga employers or tao sa paligid na unconsciousness or minsan consciously treat migrants as less. At kahit hindi ito laging sinasabi ng direkta, ramdam ito sa trato. Sa trabaho, sa school, sa public spaces, may mga pattern na hindi nakikita pero nararamdaman. Unti-unti ang ganitong experience ay nakaka-apekto sa self-esteem ng isang migrant. Yung dating confident bilang pagiging conscious sa bawat galaw, sa bawat salita at sa bawat pagkakamali. Pero di dito nagtatapos ang kwento nila. Dahil kasunod ng discrimination ay isa pang malaking hamon, ang adaptation. Ang adapt sa bagong bansa ay hindi simple. Hindi ito tungkol sa pag-aaral ng bagong language, kasama din dito ang pag-intindi sa bagong culture, bagong rules, bagong sistema, at bagong sistema ng pamumuhay ng ibang tao. At kahit bagong paraan na pakisalumuha sa ibang tao, isipin mo, lahat ay bago. Ibang paraan ng pakikipag-usap, ibang expectation sa workplace or school, ibang social norms na kailangan mong matutunan habang ikaw ay nag-a-adjust pa lang. Minsan, kahit simpleng bagay tulad ng pagsakay sa public transport, ang pag-order ng pagkain, nagiging stressful na rin. Sa gitna ng lahat ng ito, may isa pang silent struggle, ang loneliness. Maraming migrants ang dumataan sa panahon na pakiramdam nila ay mag-isa sila. Wala silang pamilya na sa tabi nila, wala silang close friends, at minsan pakiramdam nila ay hindi sila fully understood ng mga tao sa paligid nila. Pero kahit ganoon, ang pagpapatuloy sa kanila ay ang dahilan kung bakit sila umalis. Ang pangarap, ang pamilya, at ang pag-asa na isang araw magiging mas magaan ang buhay na hinahanap nila. Kaya kahit mahirap, patuloy silang nag-a-adjust. Unti-unting natututong makisabay, natututong magsalita sa bagong language na kahit may accent, at natututo silang intindihin ang culture kahit hindi pa sila fully comfortable. Natututo silang buuin ulit ang sarili nila sa isang lugar na hindi kinalikhan. At sa paglipas ng panahon, may mga migrants na hindi lang basta nakakasurvive, kundi nagiging successful pa.